Figured I'd do a walkthrough of the collection, starting with the Ranger 6x6. It's a 14-800. Just got done washing everything here. We'll see here. She's got some miles on her. Yeah, not quite 6,800 right now. It's a good machine. Needs a secondary though, as most of you know at this kind of mileage. Just got done putting a fuel controller in it. Otherwise, it's pretty much all factory. I think the front diff needs the cage replaced as well. 6-wheel drive works mostly. So here's we've got the 02 400. This is actually my father's machine, which I kind of treat as my own and maintain it and stuff for him. I don't know. Can't get that up right now. If I turn the... Yeah, no, it's gonna have to be someplace dark to read the mileage. 17,200 something. This thing's been the little machine that could. It's got a 500 HO cam and carb in it. The cam wore out. 500 HO cam got put in it. So we first got it at about 16,000 miles or so. And then the factory 34 millimeter carb wore out. So he threw in the 40 that came off 500 HO. Mostly factory, just nicely accessorized bumpers, rack, extender, front and rear. New old stock actual metal rack here, made it a little bit bigger. Thing's pretty nice. Wheels are off of a 2016 utility edition. Those were brand new, with Moose splitters. These are fantastic tires for just all arounders. Had this thing in a swamp before and it did well. ITP mud lights on the Ranger, those seem to do fairly well too. Alright, so we've got some Goodyear trackers and some Goodyear mud runners on this. The mud runners were actually on that to begin with, and when I put those new ones on there, those got put in the pile out back. And then this thing had bald front tires when I bought it, so they went on there. These tires do fairly well. This machine really doesn't have enough power to do a lot of mudding. Upgrades I've done to this: ATP storage box, Byers LED pod lights, and this unbeaten path mount here for a Milwaukee pack out. Otherwise, mostly factory. I rebuilt the motor when I first got it. It's been a solid machine. And if you can see through the condensation there, just turned over 2,000 miles. I got it with about 1,800 miles on it. Been driving it for about 3 years now. Mostly pulling a brush mower. There's some more over there by those trees that I pull it with. Thing's great for that. All right, 17 Sportsman 850. This thing has been a fun machine to own. Some ranchers had it before I got it, so it needed a little maintenance. They kind of beat it up a little bit, put some bushings in it. Yeah, 4,900 miles on it. I think I got it with 4,700 on it, something like that. I don't drive it that much, so I mostly only use it for trail riding. Up front, arched A-arms out of a 2019 850 high lifter. On the rear, arched and raked A-arms from high lifter to move these rear tires back a little bit so they cleared. 28 Moto MTCs. They are a bit heavy for this machine actually. And this front here, they're 28 by 10s all the way around, but there's an arrow or rim up front, kind of gets a little wobbly over 60 miles an hour. So I should put different tires on here at some point, but we'll see. I might just sell the machine too. Haven't quite made up on my mind yet. Those new 6x6s are looking pretty nice. And the new trails. I rode a 21 trail the other day, a friend of mine bought. Really liked the way that machine rode. So not that there's a lot wrong with this machine, it's just I don't get to use it much. Milwaukee pack out mount as well on this machine. That's where I get to put my cooler. All right, this machine here, I think I've got this sold to a family member for their ranch. Gonna be sad to see this one go. It's a 97 Explorer 400. It has a 2-inch lift, so it does sit a little higher. I had 26s on it, but I took them off to sell it. They didn't particularly want them. Exhaust, clutch kit, high compression head, big bore, big carb, carbon fiber reeds, high compression head. The thing is a monster for a 400. Really fun to ride. Actually, that's what I bought the 850 to replace, was this when I started having back issues, because the swing arm doesn't ride very nice, at least not side to side. So I did decide to go with the better seating position on the 850. That's the reason why I bought that. It's a little narrower at the legs, but I'd be sad to see this one go. Spent a lot of time rebuilding this machine, making it kind of what I wanted, and then couldn't really ride it the way I wanted to after shortly after I got it done. So it's going away, unfortunately, but I always have good memories with this one. So yeah, that's the collection of stuff that runs and drives. These are all in really nice shape mechanically. Stuff that this thing needs probably the carb to be gone through. You could only put enough fuel in it to drive it for what you wanted to do for the day, because it has a slow fuel leak somewhere I can never track down. Thinking it was in the carb. Not very long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, I put a new master cylinder in it, but now this year throttle's all locked up. Got another scrambler over here that has broken piston skirt in it. The scramblers I co-own with my brother, and then this was a machine that my dad bought me and my brother when we were younger from an uncle. The old Trail Boss 350L. This thing is a tank. Unfortunately, when I first started playing with carbs, I didn't know that this had a bigger carb on it. From when my uncle owned it, and I put the appropriate jets for a smaller carb in it. He'd brought it from Wyoming, and the top end is toast from running too lean. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I don't know if I'll ever fix this machine. It's not really worth it monetarily. It does have decent tires on it yet, but the whole front end was pooched in it. Have no idea how many miles are on this machine. This speedometer has been broken since shortly after he bought it new in the early 90s. I think it's a 91. He was living in Wyoming at the time. Hauled a lot of elk and deer with that machine. But anyways, so yeah, that is the collection of Polaris ATVs and UTVs around here. Doesn't include snowmobiles. Should be selling a couple of them here pretty soon. But anyways, thanks for watching.